Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Tailgate. We got lots of friends here joining me today. I got a nerd boy over here. Say hello. I
What's
got Miss
up? I love it. I like
Sharlene.
the zoom in every time you say my name. It's like it
Does
knows.
it? Is that what triggers it? Like when
I
I
don't
say your name,
know.
like it zooms
Say
in.
say nerd one more time.
Nerd.
No, it doesn't do it.
No. I
Tough.
love that camera feature though. It like just like zooms in on you.
Yeah.
I got joined also by Miss Sharlene Ericson, Fantasy and Frames. Sharlene and I do our Monday Night Waiver show together. And then I got our DFS guru over here, Mr. Keith Flemming from Optimus Fantasy Six Pack. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. I thought you were talking about me when you said nerd boy. I'm like, damn, Stacy, I know we hadn't hung out in a while, but you're just gonna call me a nerd boy right off the bat. That's
Shots
how you're gonna
fired,
describe
dude.
me.
Exactly. And then
But I
hot.
mean, I am a nerd, so that's okay. But
We all
I've called you my work wife for a long time. We haven't done a show
exactly.
in a minute, so it's very good to be back with you, Stacy.
I
And
agree.
I'm excited.
It has. It's been way too long. We just started halftime for the Cleveland Vikings game. Carson Wentz looks like he's not coming back with some weird shoulder injury. They got Max Brosmer going in. Then there's something going on with Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison's not playing right now.
Yeah, Jordan Addison. I just found that out actually. Keith just dropped that when he was talking about little Carson Wentz. We can talk about him later, but yeah, I don't know what happened at all. Nobody knows what happened with Jordan Addison. We have no idea what's going on with him. But I mean, man, I'm. How many people are starting him right now? You guys have him in your lineups? Because
Yeah,
I
I mean,
have
if
him in
I
four
had him
spots.
for sure, I was starting him after the way he looked. Coming back last week and just I assumed that you can't run on Cleveland, so they were going to be throwing it a lot. And yeah, I guess it's good for Justin Jefferson. That's about it. But not if Cam Akers ends up being the quarterback, because he's the only one right now that's done anything in the passing game so far. He's got a passing touchdown. So
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm going back through. I'm looking at the inactives from this morning. A few hours ago. We've got McCarthy, Van Ginkel, all the people that we knew weren't going to be playing for the Vikings. I don't see anything in here about Addison, so that's super annoying right now.
so there's a lot of people complaining that he was benched. We were not told about that. It should be like
Yeah,
with injuries, right? That they should have
yeah,
to,
or a
you
healthy
know,
scratch or something. Like let us
yeah.
know that he's not playing. Like that's come on, Kevin KOC is
Sounds like
losing.
Jordan was having fun in London, is what it sounds like to me.
Get it together, man. Like you just came back. Like come on,
Well,
come
I mean, you
on.
send these guys to Europe, you got to remember they're in their young 20s. I'm sure he was out having a good time and probably either
Yeah,
missed a practice or something. And
Hey, I mean, as long as he
he
didn't
was
get in
fun.
a fight with a delivery driver, it's.
right,
Ooh.
you can't park there.
As long as no one was stabbed. We don't
Right.
know what happened. Allegedly, no one was allegedly stabbed. I'll just put my lawyer spin on it. Man, what are you guys most looking forward to today? Is that the matchups are kind of a little weird today. There's a lot of people on buys. You got Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Chicago. I think that like the probably the most exciting game probably already happened with the Niners and the Rams, right? I don't know. You don't think that's the most exciting game? What's the most?
no, I don't think so. I think there's actually there's good matchups today. I mean, I
Yeah.
like the Bucks Seahawks a lot.
Mhm.
Gonna be
Obviously,
fun.
I'm really intrigued as a Patriots fan to see Drake May drink Josh Allen's milkshake later tonight. To be honest, there's I mean, there's a lot of ugly good games. Like I feel like Titans and Cardinals could be like the ugliest good game that we're gonna see. Like I want to see. I think Cam Ward actually has a game today. And I don't know if that's a hot take or obviously we've seen what they've looked like, but
They've
you
played
know,
some
I
really good defenses in his defense. Like to
Yeah.
start as a rookie and have like the Rams, the Broncos. Like he's played
Yeah.
elite defenses. So
Mhm.
I'm with you. I'm interested to see what
yeah,
he does
I
when
think Cam Ward
it's
against the
not a top
Cardinals
defense.
is not going to be like I think we're going to see the best game of his short career so far.
I hope
Um,
so.
I don't know. What do you guys like on the docket? I mean, because I could go on
For
about
me,
these
it's
ugly good games.
like Jets, Cowboys, because we're now at the point in the fantasy season where you want to find out what teams do I want to have guys on and play against, and the Cowboys may end up being like the Cincinnati Bengals of this season, where they're going to score a ton of points, but they can't stop anybody. So it's going to be a deal where you want to have, and it's condensed offenses, right? Like the Cowboys, especially without Lamb right now, it's like Pickens, Ferguson, Javante. That's basically it. And I love on the other side for the Jets, it's basically Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, and then if Mason Taylor continues to be involved. But I'm very excited about that game because I think if the Jets end up putting a bunch of points on the Cowboys and that also turns into a shootout, we can now like safely say that every week the Cowboys are just fantasy gold, whether you're starting Cowboys or whether you're starting guys that are playing the Cowboys.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be an interesting week for all these matchups, pretty much. I feel like they're all kind of pretty close matchups. I don't think anybody's going to have a runaway train with the exception of maybe the Lions against the Bengals. But, you know, I did say that on Thursday night, though. Did we not all think that the Rams were just going to run away with that one?
Yeah.
So,
but Shanahan owns McVay, which is something that I forgot, and that's why I'm pissed. I put the Rams in my eliminator. Is he does Shanahan owns McVay,
and you're not wrong. But apparently, like, we didn't realize he also owns McVay with a quarter of a team.
I mean, that's pretty much what Shanahan's had his entire time in San Francisco, though.
Yeah.
Like, I stand by. They would have won a Super Bowl in the last 5 years if they could have just kept their main pieces healthy. Because every year they'd either lose Trent Williams or CMC or Brandon Ayuk or defense.
We literally have CMC. Like,
that's all you need.
The single main piece.
That's all you need. My favorite meme from that game was it was like Mac Jones rolling up with Christian McCaffrey and 3 In-N-Out cashiers to like beat the Rams.
Well, dude, honestly, it's like a massive blow to me as like a Mac Jones truther. Originally, just like a guy that was screaming from the rooftops saying, if you get him in a Shanahan offense, which is something I actually dropped way before this Mac Jones to San Francisco thing happened, but I was like, Mac Jones, Kendrick Bourne was his main receiver in the Patriots for his entire career over there at that point. You know, it's like he was
that connection is alive and well.
Yeah, they know each other very well. So it's like I love to see the shine there. I'm pushing for Mac Jones all season, to be honest.
It's proof if you love something, you have to let it go and it'll come back to you. And that's what Shanahan did, was he did not draft Mac Jones, even though that was the quarterback he wanted. And they're still together and now, making magic. It's just going to be curious to see because they just paid Brock Purdy. Say Jones continues to do this. We know turf toe is an injury that is probably going to linger all season, right? What do the Niners do at that point? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are they really behind Brock Purdy, or will Shanahan be like, look, this Mac Jones guy's pretty good in this offense?
I think they have to hope it lingers for a while and they can just punt that decision for as long as possible.
But they could just say, hey, we're going to let him take his time to fully heal as long as Mac Jones is doing well. Like, we don't have to rush him back.
Like JJ McCarthy and his...
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
This is kind of the case. Sorry, go ahead, brother.
I was just going to say, we know the Niners are going to be in the conference championship game. Like, it's going on 20 years, every other year. They either miss the playoffs or they go to the conference championship. It's a year to go to the conference championship. I thought there was no way this year, but with them being 4-1, they have like the easiest schedule in the NFL. They're going to get more healthy, right? Like, eventually they're going to get Kittle back, probably Ayuk, like all these guys. That offense could be legit if you have Kittle, Purcell, Jennings, Ayuk, CMC. All of a sudden now that's a scary offense, and the NFC's not that strong. If we're just being honest, it's a lot of good teams. I don't feel like it's any like great juggernaut teams.
Yeah,
it's a long shot, but could you imagine the Niners in the Super Bowl at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara? This place would be insane.
It would be nuts. It was
I probably could not leave my house.
Yeah, no, like a few years ago, remember the Bucs were in the Super Bowl here in Tampa, and it was bananas. Just trying to get around, the whole place was going crazy. But that's always a lot of fun if you can have the Super Bowl in your backyard.
Right.
Guys, throw your start-sit questions on into that comment section. Get on in there with those. I know it's really gross out there today. Like, we have a lot of really nasty looking lineups. There's just been so many injury, things just coming in, even coming in.
You don't enjoy deciding whether you want to play Michael Carter or Rico Dowdle? That's not the kind of decision.
Let me tell you.
I really
I've
don't.
had to do that in a couple leagues.
Yeah. I'm starting the youngest ETN today. the youngest ETN.
No,
That's who I have
Lord.
to start today. This is where we're at.
Hey,
People.
he's good,
All right?
man. I don't know if he's
Rico's
gonna get
one of my
opportunity.
starts of the week. Actually, I have.
Oh no, he's a
him.
great play.
Yeah, I'm dropping some gems on Rico later in the show for sure.
We got April over here in the chat. April wants to know. We'll just go ahead and get started with some of these start sets as they're rolling in. April wants to know: are we starting Calvin Ridley, Brashard Smith, and this is a flex? One of my sits is Ridley for this for today.
No.
I know we just talked about Cam Warden, and hopefully he'll have a good day, but I think I hope he does, but I don't think Ridley is going to be involved in that. He's looked terrible the last couple of or the entire season, not even the last couple weeks, the entire season. I don't know about Brashard Smith either, though. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll let you guys tackle this first.
Brashard Smith. Let's see. I don't like Ridley, and that's Keith will be back in a second. It looks like his computer decided to go like the AI just took over and rebooted for him.
Tailgate right in my forehead right now. I love it.
That is fantastic.
It's a good thing I was gonna say if your chair was any higher, it would be like right there, right in the middle of your face.
We're gonna move that for a second. Yeah. I would take Brashard Smith over Ridley all day. I think Ridley's actually he might not even be playing today. Did I read that?
I
wrong?
saw.
Right. I haven't gotten
Is
any
that
of
for
the
certain yet?
notifications. I'm still waiting to see if
not for
anything's
certain.
Yeah. Okay.
But I honestly, the way that Brashard Smith, his usage is going up week to week. We're seeing coach speak, which I don't necessarily dive into too much, but like when we're looking at an offense right now, that they're going to have to throw a lot, and I think Brashard Smith is the back on that team that you want to own when they're throwing a lot, because it's a tough run defense, and I think that you're going to see. Honestly, not a high scoring game, but they're going to be in that. So I think game script is going to actually open that up a little bit for throws and dump offs to the running back. And I think Brashard Smith's going to have a decent game this week for sure.
I like April. Keith was so disgusted by your question that he just had to leave the show. It's probably going to get worse than that, April. So don't worry.
Right.
I just feel like with Ridley, I mean, where was it? I had some notes in here. Here we go. I had to find him for a second. He hasn't scored more than 9 points all season. So, and his targets are just continuing to decrease. I kind of feel like we all got like hoodwinked a little bit, on him. If you took him, I kind of stayed away at first because I was like, I don't know about that offense. But then I started buying the dip to where like as it got closer and closer to August, and oh well, he had 1,000 yards last year, and the quarterback play was bad then. So like he'll probably be fine. He's a good receiver, but that is not what has happened at all with
I dropped him already. Full disclosure, he's gone. So
at least you can afford to drop him in some if Calvin Ridley were in our Queen's Classic, I was telling Mike earlier, like I had to go in and pick somebody up for Bowers because Bowers isn't going to play today. And last minute, and like, man, I was like, God, if Calvin Ridley been there, I smashed that real quick. And that is the state of things in that league. Oof.
Yeah. I think I actually dropped him and picked up Io Manor.
Yeah, the fact that he was available for you is fantastic.
Yeah. He's the number one receiver in that offense, by every metric.
Yep.
And it's concerning for Ridley when Tyler Lockett is playing more snaps. Like that's when I'm like, I may be out. I was on big time on Ridley this summer, but when Tyler Lockett is on the field and getting more targets, it's concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's right in general. Like we were looking at Ridley as far as his usage was great last year, and he was lined up to obviously be the wide receiver in one of that team. But I think there's more to this story than we're I guess, leading on to believe, because I think I can't imagine like there's just a Deontay Johnson type of drop off when it comes to production, especially for a guy that really wasn't on the field a whole lot the last 5 years. So it's tough.
With an upgrade at QB, right? Like whatever you think of Cam Ward,
ideally,
way better than what they had last year.
Yeah. I mean, that O-line's tough. Everything, his release at that time, obviously still much better than Will Levis, but it's still hard to get that ball out. And I think you need a good amount of time to get Ridley set up because he is a downfield threat. But hey, man, Ion Omar, I'm all in on that guy. I've been pounding the table for him. I think that he's going to step in and you're going to see much higher usage. And I think today's the day where you see a good connection with Cam Ward. I think that we're looking at a decent game against the Cardinals. At least they're going to put up more than 20 points, I hope.
I hope so. I mean, they're averaging 12.8 so far this year per game, which is not great. It's actually last in the NFL. They get Tajay Spears back today though too. Did you guys see that?
Yep.
I did.
They're
I
3 and
picked him up in
14
a couple
against the
leagues.
spread. Their
There you
last
go.
17 games since Callahan took over, which is like
Oof.
almost impossible to be that bad. So I hope that we see it turn around because nobody should be that bad.
No, it's pretty disheartening if you're a Titans fan for sure. Guys, let's see. As the news comes in and everything like that, we'll let you guys know. It looks like too. Here's some news about Bucky Irving that's pretty interesting. It looks like this is from Schefter. It looks like his shoulder injury is a shoulder subluxation, which is expected to sideline him for 2 weeks. Obviously, not going to play today. Not expected next week against the Niners either.
Why is he in a boot though? That's my
Oh,
concern. They're talking about his
I was
shoulder
just
and he's
gonna
walking
say
around in a
that.
boot.
Like,
Well, so they
why
said
is
that
he in
was
a boot
that
and
was
crutches.
because there's also the sprained foot. Yeah.
But let's talk
Not
about the
great.
shoulder.
Yeah, I guess he played through the sprained foot during the last game, and then after it, like had a hard time getting back to the locker room after the game. But yeah, this shoulder issue looks really concerning. So hopefully you were able to pick up Sean Tucker in most of your leagues out there. Rashad White, I doubt was available in many people's leagues, but so that's going on. I mean, we've got a little Rashad White, Sean Tucker, concern out there. Devin Witherspoon's out. I don't feel that concerned for the Bucks offense. I know we're dealing with some injuries with that, but especially with the guys they have out on defense for Seattle, like I'm not like automatically giving this to the Seahawks today. What about you guys?
You're a Bucks fan though, so we know that this is biased information. I actually do like Seattle today. I think Tampa can hang with them because I just don't think Seattle's going to, score a ton of points on any team that they can't really run on. But I mean, Seattle's still 3-1 to win that division. And I think Seattle is good. If we can get good Sam Darnold like we did last year, and it appears so far that we can, they've got 2 good running backs. And I believe in that defense. I think they have one of the better defenses in the league, and obviously one of the better defensive coaches in the league as their head coach. So I think Seattle at 3-1 to win the division is interesting, but I think it's a must-win game for them. And as a Falcons fan, I'm thrilled to see Tampa battling with these injuries because that's about the only way we're going to keep up with them is if they're missing their pieces because they have just a treasure trove of offensive guys if all their receivers and backs are healthy with how good Baker Mayfield is now, who is, I think, unquestionably like one of the top 7-8 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, Baker's been amazing. Emeka Buka has just come in and had zero time, hasn't needed to adjust at all. Just come in and been fantastic. And
Stacy, I don't want to do this to you, but I think Seattle wins this game so easily.
They might.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Who's your guy you like fantasy wise for that? Do you think it's a lot of the backs or a big JSN game? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking JSN cooks early, and then we're looking at a Walker game actually. So I think that they're probably going to be a low scoring. I don't think it's going to be like, Baker's going to put up 30 points in this game. I think that's why they're going to be in a tough spot. I think that defense is going to hold true to a degree. And I think that we're going to be looking at an offense without Bucky Irving that is going to, I mean, they're going to be all right. Obviously, we're looking at Rashad White going to pick up the pieces a little bit with Sean Tucker, maybe getting the passing work. But I think that, that defense is legit. And I think that we're going to be looking at an offense that struggles a little bit. And I don't think they're going to be able to keep up. And I think that we are going to see good Darnold today. And I hate to say it to you, Stacy, but I think it's going to be like a tough loss. Baker's actually, once we get to start sits, one of my sits today. So,
I don't necessarily have I either one, right? Seattle could win, Bucks could win for me. I think for me, it's kind of a toss up. I do have a question for you since you said it was going to be a big Ken Walker day. What do we do with Charbonnet? Because I've got a situation, and this is what I specifically want to ask you guys, is where I've got to decide between my favorite Amari DiMercato. I'm going to say his name with a really horrible Italian accent, and then or Sharbs.
I mean, I think Carter is actually the guy that's going to get a majority of the carries, but it doesn't matter because, I mean, Tennessee has over the last 3 weeks given up over 300 rushing yards with 5 rushing touchdowns, while at the same time to running backs allowing 9 receptions for over 100 yards and another touchdown. I do think Tennessee is going to be, able to hang a little bit more in this game, but I just envision both backs in Arizona having opportunities to score to where, like, I would much rather have Charbonnet week in and week out, but Tampa is pretty good against the run. Walker is, definitely the 1A. He's the 1B. And I feel like there's going to be more points in the Tennessee-Arizona game than there would be in the Seattle-Tampa. So I would lean him. I mean, it's one of those, it's not great either way, but I just think Tennessee is so much worse versus running backs than, Tampa Bay is.
I was just pulling up the numbers. The Bucs are allowing the fifth fewest rushing yards per game. Right
Charlene,
now.
what are you thinking down there?
Yeah.
So I'm with Stacy. I think this is going to be a close game. I hope the Bucs can pull it out.
No, we don't.
Because I don't like the Seahawks, but
Oh yeah, Niners fan. Makes sense.
So I have high hopes, and I mean, like you said, Baker looks great. I mean, it could happen.
I think that'll be a good game. I think it'll be a fun one.
As far as Charbonnet goes, for me, I mean, Charbonnet this is like the fantasy community in general. They want more Walker. They want Walker all day. But Charbonnet is actually a better NFL running back when we're all talking about a complete running back, because he's one of the best pass protection running backs in the game. Like, we're taking everything else out of the equation. Like, obviously Walker has that electricity. He's got that pass catching ability. He's a weapon. He can run it. But when we're looking at his play-by-play, he's taking negative play, and then he's maybe getting a plus yardage play and then a negative play. He runs backwards all the time. Charbonnet protects the quarterback. Charbonnet is in plays. He's in there in key moments, especially when we're looking in third, fourth down usage. He's there when the game is on the line just because of his pass protection. So you're going to see Charbonnet on the field a lot, regardless of whether it's a Ken Walker day or not. And I think that you want to go with the usage more so than the murkiness of, we don't know how this is going to break down with Carter and
yeah.
I don't want to butcher his name at this point, but
you're in a good group.
Yeah.
Stacy can tell you I can't pronounce anything correctly, so it's a safe space.
But yeah, no, I'm going Sharp all day in that scenario.
You may have just convinced me to play Sharp too. I like that case. I'll swap, because I mean, I do think Michael Carter is going to disappoint a lot of people that picked up DeMarcado, because I do think he's going to end up getting a bulk of the early down goal line work, and you're going to see him continue just to be like their third down passing back. So,
do we think that ends up being kind of like the Washington backfield, where it's pretty gross back there, and you just ultimately don't want any of them?
I mean, Michael Carter's never been a pass catcher, so I think that you're going to see DeMarcado, or whatever his name is, out there a decent amount of time. We saw his pass usage even occur when Trey Benson was out there. So it's like, we're still going to see him catching passes. I think that you're going to have to see Michael Carter produce over 100 yards to be fantasy relevant today. I think you're going to probably see, a 9-8 point game from both of them at this point, but I don't know. I don't feel comfortable starting either one today.
Could be a Carolina revival, though. We've seen Javonte Williams, finally live up to his hype. And don't forget, Michael Carter was also a Carolina back that came in and was drafted relatively early, and just hasn't really been given an opportunity.
Michael Carter's rookie year had everybody trading first for him. Everyone was like, here we go, baby. Let's rack him up. Everyone was going for Michael Carter. I remember him being traded for the 103 in that class. Actually, I think it was Drake London. So not great now, but people were very high on Michael Carter coming out.
Well, okay. So speaking of Carolina, it's a great way to kind of segue over here to our first question. We have got Hunter wants to know, Rico Dowdle, is he going to save the day for all of your Chuba managers? I sure hope so. I know, Mike, you're pretty high on Rico this week, right?
Yeah, I mean, Rico, I want to pull this up. So Rico's going against Miami, right?
Yep.
So I think Miami is bottom 3 when it comes to running back usage this
giving up 5 yards per carry. That's always a bad start for a run defense.
It's tough. And I think that, Miami, they had a great game last week, but like we're looking at a team that it just lost Tyreek Hill. They're really dependent on their pass catchers just because Tua is Tua. Like I think we know that Tua is more of a game manager than he is somebody that's going to elevate talent around him. I think taking away any pass catcher, anybody that has that elite ability is going to affect his game moving forward. And it's tough. Like I'm rooting for Tua, you know what I mean? Like all the concussion stuff and everything that we saw play out last year. Like I want him to be successful so bad. This team is not in line to find success this year. And it is the reality of it. And I think Carolina's going to give them a game. And I think that we're going to see a good Bryce Young game. And I think we're going to see a back and forth of frustrating quarterbacks and fantasy going at each other today. And I think it's going to be a game script that is going to benefit Rico Dowdle like big time. I think that he has a above average pass catching. He's actually
that's the big thing, right? With all those injuries.
We saw him last year be the RB1 of the Dallas Cowboys for a good stretch of the year. He's very capable. He's definitely not somebody, he's above and beyond what we're talking about with, the running backs for the Cardinals right now. I think that he's in a different tier just because we've seen him be super successful last year on a decent competitive team. So, and also he was playing with a backup quarterback most of that time too. So I think that we're going to just see a good game script. We're going to see a really bad run defense, and it's just going to be a perfect storm for a nice Dowdle day.
Hubbard was also just scoring like so many points in the passing game, which with Coker still out and like just, Sanders out, like I think Dowdle's floor is very safe this week, which you can't say about a lot of the other guys because he's probably going to have at least 4 receptions. Like I feel pretty confident in that with how much they were throwing to Hubbard, before he got hurt. And again, just the situation. And you have the benefit if Miami scores points, Dowdle will stay on the field because again, he's a good pass catching back. So if it goes, the bad way for Panthers fans, that still means that he's going to have some fantasy opportunities.
I got a question for you guys because this came up in one of my group chats. I've got a team that I've got with 2 other guys, and here is our question: Tet or Uncle Rico today?
I think I like Rico more. I mean, I know it sounds insane to say that because Tet's like one of the best receivers in football right now, like for a lot of metrics, like facing man, etc. But Miami again, 5 yards per carry is concerning. I mean, they're not the Giants who are giving up 6 yards per carry, which is the most since any team since 1979 through the first month of the season. But 5 is a lot. And we know that Carolina, with all these injuries, like to win this game, they need to run the ball, keep Miami's offense off the field, even without Tyreek Hill. It's not like Carolina has a great defense. And again, volume's king in fantasy for me. I think Dowdle has more volume this week than Tet.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they both have a safe floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can't go wrong starting either guy. But I think if you want the higher ceiling, you definitely go with Dowdle.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on that. Definitely. I think, for the lack of run defense Miami has, they actually have a pretty decent pass. They can put pressure on the quarterback. I don't think that they're going to have a ton of time to get Tet down the field. So, yeah, I mean, I think like I said, the game script's going to kind of net Dowdle to have a pretty decent game on paper, at least.
See, and that's why I like you guys, because that was the argument I made. I was like, I like Rico better this week. And they both
it's gross, right?
So
like to say that, like to be like, well,
Yeah.
this receiver that I took very early and has been great, to start his career over the backup running back. But I mean, again, the point was made. It's not like we have never seen Rico Dowdle be the feature back. We have, and he's been good.
Right.
So I think he's a really good play versus a bad run D.
Yeah, agreed. Just to update you guys with the game right now, we got Minnesota is 14, Cleveland 10. Cleveland looks like they are close to scoring. Again, Quinshon Judkins has looked amazing this game. He's got like 78 yards so far.
Jordan Mason got you a touchdown, pro. So.
Oh, well, thank God, because what was he like negative? What'd you say, Mike? -7?
-7.
Negative 0.7.
0.7. Okay, that's better. 0.7.
Yeah. 0.7. So he's in the positive now. It's
that decimal makes the difference.
Running back.
A big difference.
Yeah. Oh man. David Njoku just hurdled somebody and made them look like a small child. I'm not sure who that was, but
Dylan Gabriel looks good. I
He
gotta
does.
admit, he looks really good. He
Yeah.
was could sling it at the Senior Bowl. I watched him there. Just the thing was, he's very small. Like it's shocking when you see an NFL quarterback that looked like he was my height. So
Wait, like Bryce Young small?
oh yeah,
Yeah, he's like
he's-
5'9".
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean he is short.
Yeah, he's definitely like I'm like 5'10", so he's definitely shorter than I am. I think at this point.
Well,
I'm shrinking now. I'm definitely not as tall as I was 2
It
years
gets
ago.
worse.
Oh,
I know,
I'm there
that's
too.
right.
I am.
Yeah.
I am also shrinking. I was short to begin with. I am not enjoying this at all.
No.
Sorry.
Is that
Freaking
Nico?
dogs.
Is that little Nico?
Yeah, Nico and Lola. Brittany just got
Yes,
home, so they're
Nico.
We got our YouTube
Yeah.
guy. This guy. He's my boy. He does all the
Yeah.
player profile on YouTube. He's always on it. Alex is a
Yeah.
good friend. I appreciate you
Alex.
jumping in the chat. But Alex wants to know, you starting Taysom Hill today? Absolutely not, dude. Do not do it.
he should be
Don't
outlawed in
I can see
fantasy.
why
do
it's
it.
I stand
tempting.
by that.
I
Yeah.
still like Jawan Johnson. I don't think I'm scared of. I know that
Is he
Taysom
playing?
Hill can have. Is Taysom Hill playing?
No,
I
is
think-
Jawan playing?
I
Is he
don't know.
questionable?
I haven't
am-
seen anything. I'm
think he
hang on. Okay, just got actives and active Saints. Jawan Johnson is in today.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yeah. So there's your answer.
Yeah,
No.
do
Their
not.
passing offense looks the best when throwing to Juwan Johnson by
Right.
far this
Right.
season. Like it is without a doubt. And like today again, they can run the ball all they want. If you have Kendra Miller or Alvin Kamara, today is the day to feel very good about facing. Again, 6.1 yards per attempt. There has not been a rush defense since 1979 to do that through the first month. So it's a great day for the Saints, who ran really well on Buffalo last week. But overall, I think Juwan Johnson's going to be fine, even if this is not the best game, because I do think New Orleans really going to try to just run the ball on New York.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got the trust of Rattler, and you know, we're talking about a quarterback that might hold that job for the year, I guess. I mean, I don't know what else they're going to do at this point. Tyler Chuck doesn't look like he's got the stuff to start in the NFL currently, but yeah, I mean, I'm going with the guy that already has the trust and faith of the quarterback, and I think that you're right. That offense has looked a lot better with Juwan Johnson as a focal point.
Agreed. Yeah, guys. Again, we'll just checking out. Nothing else that has popped up. That's nothing that we weren't already planning on for today. Officially, Brock Bowers is not going to play. I think we all just kind of knew that, though. But yeah, so as
They
of-
have to step in. He is the kind of guy that he's going to keep playing, and the only way this injury can get better is rest. And it's, you know, like with a kid, you just have to tell him, look, bro, this is not your decision. You can't play. So
I kind of wish they, I think this happened during the first game. So I wish they made it, or kind of stepped in and done that a little bit before now. But I mean, we've got Michael Mayer is out too. I think, what is it? Ian Thomas is the next tight end up in Vegas. Nobody's rushing out to go pick him up off there.
yeah, don't do that.
Right? That's not going to work.
You can
out.
go get Mason Taylor if you want a tight end to play
Yeah.
today. That's probably out there.
Yeah, that I don't think that's gonna be
And the Joker
a
just
spot.
scored there, Stacy.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh well, thank God. I've got him in one. Look at him, just if you guys are watching that, just a hurdle number 0 for the Vikings, whoever that is. But that man he's a monster. All right. So why don't we go ahead and get on into some of our starts, some of our sits. Let's take the starts first. Charlene, give me one of your starts today that we haven't already talked about.
Who haven't we talked about?
You've
We
got a
have
lot on
not.
it.
You know
You-
what? I do. Okay. So I'm gonna stay on my Broncos train,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna put up J.K. Dobbins as one of my starts this week. He has looked so good this season. Hopefully he stays healthy. Unlike a lot of these other guys, I'm not gonna lie, it makes me nervous, but he's been looking really good. Philly, my God, they have been just struggling on defense. I mean, they're giving up a ton of first downs and big chunk plays to RBs. So I love Dobbins this week.
Nice. Keith? Who you think?
Let's go with the QB and Justin Fields, who I spent all summer talking about draft Justin Fields and Drake May. You don't have to spend a ton of capital, and you have two guys with like top 5 upside at fantasy. And it was a rough week 2 for me because I was everywhere telling people, play Justin Fields and your DK lineups, and you can start him over all these quarterbacks. And he had his clunker. He scored 4 points, only played a half. But even with that game, he is already 7th in fantasy points per game among QBs. And I mean, this is what Fields does. It's not necessarily a good quarterback, but he's a great fantasy quarterback. And then more importantly, he is first in fantasy points per drop back, actually scoring almost an entire point every time he drops back to pass. Great news being the Jets defense is awful. Like, we need to forget what happened a couple of years ago. This is now a 2-year sample of this defense just not being what I think a lot of people kind of expected to be under Aaron Glenn. And the Cowboys offense is really good, meaning that this is going to be one of those games that he has an opportunity to do exactly what he did last week versus Miami, where he didn't look good and it was frustrating. And then he has a 48-yard touchdown run and he's scoring like 25, 28 points. So I love Justin Fields. He's also only, I think, 5,600 on DK. It's just, if you drafted Fields, it's great. You're going to have the occasional clunker, but his floor week in and week out because the rushing is just, huge.
Dallas giving up the most fantasy points to opposing teams' quarterbacks at 29.4 per week.
Hurts had 60 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, and that's the only elite runner that they faced so far. And guys like C.J. Stroud rush for 30 yards. So I feel very confident Fields will rush for at least like 40, 50 yards.
Love it. Mike, who you got for us? Who's a start for you?
I think my must start actually is going to be Xavier Worthy. So Xavier Worthy right now is probably on the cusp of not starting for a lot of people. I'm comfortably starting Xavier Worthy right now just because, we're looking at one more week without Rashee Rice at least, and then we're going to see him ramp up a little bit. But until then that happens, he's the focal point of this offense. He's the guy that they're going to run this offense through. We saw his usage come back last week, and he was their guy, obviously getting a couple runs. He's, had some big plays. But I'm looking at the matchup today, and, Jaguars actually have a pretty elite run D at this point. They're looking at top 5 run defense, but their pass defense is awful. Mm-hmm. They are at the bottom. I think they're the 24th ranked pass defense, and realistically, they haven't been seeing really great offenses. They have, but not really. We're not looking at a Patrick Mahomes, somebody that can dissect a defense and kind of just break you apart a little bit. And I think we're going to see that today. We're going to see a lot of Xavier Worthy. We're going to see some big plays. And then we're going to see some manufactured touches. We're going to probably see him out of the backfield a little bit. We haven't seen any running back on that team. We talked about Brashard Smith a little bit earlier in the show, but we haven't seen a running back be successful yet. Pacheco looks kind of cooked. For lack of a better word, we saw a touchdown last week, but he hasn't looked effective. He hasn't looked efficient. They're going to need somebody to be the spark plug on that offense. And I think Xavier Worthy is that guy. So I think that I'm starting him wherever I have him comfortably. I'd start him over. Obviously, I was going to drop Addison's name, and I was going to say Jameson Williams and poor Addison. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, I think that if you're struggling with, that tier of player, I like Jacoby Myers today too. We just talked about Brock Bowers being out. I like Jacoby Myers in this offense. He's going to have to, same situation where he's going to have to be the spark plug of that offense. He's going to have to get open and be the guy without Bowers in the lineup. And we're going to see a whole lot of passes. I think he's probably going to get maybe, I want to say almost double-digit targets in this game. They're going to need to throw it to somebody. And I think Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, these guys are going to have pretty decent games.
So last week I told everybody I was like, I don't know about Worthy. I just want to see it first with that injury coming back. I think I saw it. I saw all I needed to see last week with Xavier Worthy. I'm all aboard the Worthy.
Don't look now. Chiefs will get Rice back next week. We know what's going to happen.
Only have one more game
Kansas
left.
City will end up being 12-5 and in the Super Bowl in a few months.
Well, and today is Travis Kelce's birthday. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but
oh well,
yeah.
All right then.
No one's excited about that. That's okay. I'm sure he'll be fine. Brittany is hanging out in the chat. What's up, Brittany?
Hey,
She's got a
Brittany.
question for us. She wants to know, start one, Michael Carter, Brashard Smith, or Jalen Tolbert. We just got some news that Kevontae Turpin is going to be inactive for this game. That kind of did it for me. I think I would start Tolbert for all those reasons that we talked about just now with like the Dallas and then the Jets game. I think it's going to be super high scoring. Dak looks amazing lately. They're throwing a ton. I'm kind of aboard the Tolbert train for this one, especially in PPR. How about you guys? What are you guys thinking?
I'd lean Carter, but I like Tolbert. He's seen 6 targets each of the last 2 weeks. You would think, again, Dallas is going to have to score points because I think they're going to give up points. So I'm good with either. I think Carter is the riskier for sure of the 2 plays, but has more upside.
Anybody else have any strong feelings on these 3?
What do you think, Sharlene? I'm gonna go to you first.
I'm also on the Tolbert train, but I don't have super strong feelings about this. I think I get what Keith is saying about Michael Carter. So I mean, yeah, I'm still going Tolbert though.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think so.
Yeah, we're all aligned on this. I think with Britt, what's up? Appreciate you. She does most of the graphic work for us too. So
graphics
guru. You guys jumping in here. Britt's the best. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'm going Tolbert definitely, just because we don't know the usage. We have no idea what's going on with Michael Carter, Brashard Smith, albeit we've been pumping him a little bit in the show, but yeah, like Keith said, he's getting the targets, and it's not like for lack of weapons, but in this case it is. He's gonna have to throw it to somebody. Pickens isn't always going to be the guy, so yeah, I'll take Tolbert in this.
Miles Sanders also out today, if anybody had to make a really gross decision with Miles Sanders.
Thank you for that.
It's that kind of week, guys. It is that kind of week. Charlene, you were really high on Hunter Henry this week, right?
I am. I mean, the Bills D is obviously the Bills D, but they have been pretty inconsistent though, against teams with mobile quarterbacks, especially. And well, Drake May, mobile quarterback. I think Hunter Henry is gonna have a good game, regardless of which way this game goes.
I like Hunter. I've always liked Hunter Henry. I think, he's one of the more consistent guys in that New England offense. He's averaging 13.5 fantasy points per game. I mean, that's better than some of your wide receiver twos. So even though I think, historically this season, the Bills defense has given up a little bit lower to opposing teams' tight ends. I still would I would fire up Hunter Henry without doubt.
I after that one dud game that he had, I panic dropped him and was somehow miraculously able to then pick him back up. So the following week. So guys, don't panic drop people. Don't do it.
That's true. That always comes back to bite you. I did that with Jawan Johnson, like literally after the first week in a league that I had, and obviously lived to regret that decision. So yeah. All right, guys, you want to move on? Let's do some sits. It'll be a little, actually, hang on. No, I had to start real quick that I want to get to. This one's kind of obvious. Woody Marks. You probably paid a ton for him on waivers if you got him over the last couple weeks. It is obviously his backfield now. I think Nick Chubb might be hanging around a little bit back there, but this is Woody Marks' backfield. He is the RB1 there. They have a great matchup with the Ravens today. They're giving up the most fantasy points to the running back position. They're allowing 141.3 rushing yards per game. So I think it's an obvious start.
And they played the Chiefs. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, so exactly.
That's an even worse number.
If you're giving up a lot of rushing yards to the Chiefs, we've got problems. Speaking of Baltimore real quick, I probably should have talked about this earlier, but do you guys have any thoughts on what's going on with them this year? Like, they could be 1-4 today.
I mean, they're ravaged by injuries. So, I mean, and also they've had a brutal start to their schedule. I as long as Lamar is only going to miss 1-2 games, like tops. I know he could play today, but I still think they're going to win their division. If you look at it, schedule gets much easier. Let's be honest. The Browns stink. The Bengals stink. Steelers are there, and that's a concern, but I also I don't believe they're going to be able, they're going to do it Mike Tomlin teams do. They're going to win like 9 games. So if the Ravens can get to 9 or 10 wins and say beat Pittsburgh both times, I think they still win the division. And I do. I think they'll be fine. It is because they're going to be 1-4 though. I do not see them beating Houston, who is allowing 12 points per game through the first month. What a defense.
Yeah.
And if they can get Woody Marks, who I agree is by far their best back, like, that's what they need. They need to, get that like Joe Mixon type work that they had last year. And yes, the offense was not like a juggernaut, but it was very efficient. And when you have a defense like that, that's all you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too nervous about. They're gonna get it together. It's gonna happen. I have all the faith in the world for Lamar. Derrick Henry, unfortunately, is not going to have a good game today. Huncho, I love you, brother, but I do not see him having a Derrick Henry type of day. I just don't think the game script's going to dictate a Henry game. I think they're going to have to throw a lot more than they're going to want to with a backup quarterback in play. So I think it's going to be tough. I expect some turnovers. I expect an ugly game. Unfortunately, I mean, Henry might fall into the end zone once or twice, but I don't see a lot of yardage for him. I have one for you guys real quick.
Yeah.
We're talking about it, so would you start Woody Marks or Chase Brown? And this is the ugliest question you could probably have, but I had a couple of people sliding my DMs today about this, and I might go Woody Marks over Chase Brown right now.
I'm
not even a might. I'm a absolutely. I would.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not touching Chase Brown.
Yeah. I think the fall off of the Bengals is what doesn't worry me. If the Bengals were good this year, I think I'd be worried about the start for Lamar over there. I think that's the deciding factor for me not to worry right now. If you saw the Bengals at 4-1 right now, I'd be very nervous.
Or just a healthy Joe Burrow, right? Like
anything. If we're looking at a competitive team over there, I think that the Lamar stuff would really worry me. I think that you might want to just take a knee on the season, but I don't think they're going to do that this year.
No, and it's so weird. Like, I mean, Jake Browning came in last year and was able to put together, a decent offense and look, and not like Joe Burrow, of course, but, be a serviceable quarterback for that offense. And this year it has not happened at all. And I'm just looking at Chase Brown's stats right now. He hasn't gotten over 50 yards rushing so far this year.
It's the offensive line.
I am telling you,
it's yards before contact.
Right.
Like, he is literally getting hit a yard or further behind the line on almost 35% of his runs. Think about that. Like, it's almost impossible. And that's what's so impressive about Genty having the game he did last week. He had 16 yards before contact last week. Yeah. And he's the other guy that's in that 30% range of just constantly being hitting the backfield. So I do just want to say, though, because of Derrick Henry, I agree with him that, like, I don't think it's going to be a good game, but he owns the Houston Texans. Like, I even went back and looked at games with Baltimore. He's had at least 120 yards and a touchdown in like 9 of his last 10 games versus the Texans. With 6 of those games, he had 200 plus rushing yards. So I just want to throw that out there. If they end up having this huge Henry game, that it would not be unheard of. But I agree with Cooper Rush and just all the defensive injuries. I don't see that, occurring.
I don't see that.
We got to time that in case it happens.
Yeah, it is gross, but I am sitting Henry today. I can't even believe I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually have a running back dilemma here. Let's throw this out there. So I have on this team, I have Derrick Henry, J.K. Dobbins, Woody Marks, Alvin Kamara, and Rico Dowdle.
Okay, fair
How
enough.
many can you start?
Yeah.
What are you looking at for starts right now?
2 running backs and a flex. So
who'd you put in?
I've got Dobbins.
Okay.
That was my easy one. I've got Dobbins. I had Kamara in, but honestly, like, I keep talking myself in circles over all these guys.
With Kamara again. 6 yards per carry.
Yeah.
I'm playing Kamara, definitely.
Yeah.
I also, honestly, I think we're going to see good usage of RJ Harvey today. And I'm not saying that Dobbins is going to have a bad game. I just think that we're going to see RJ Harvey going to see a little bit more. We saw him actually finish the game last week, and we saw a decent amount of him. I think he got double-digit carries, if I'm mistaken. But I think that we're going to see a more of a split backfield. I mean, Kamara is a lock, and then we're looking at Woody Marks, J.K. Dobbins, or Dowdle.
Yeah.
Yeah, RJ Harvey saw his
Dowdle,
highest snap percentage in 14 attempts last week, which is by far the highest he's had all season. So,
man, I
Sean
mean,
Payton likes to mess with us with those running backs.
I like Dowdle this week. I really do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can start him over J.K. Dobbins.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just in a tailspin right now. Like,
I think I still play Dobbins. I play Kamara. And I think I'm playing Dowdle. I think.
in the flex.
Woo. Brittany says Dobbins over Henry.
Yeah, I still like that. I think that Henry, I mean, Cooper Rush has to get towards the end zone for Henry to score. So I think that we are probably taking
That's a
Dobbins.
big ask.
Even though I have Bo Nix as a sit this week, I still think that J.K. Dobbins is probably going to have a game. I just think that it's going to look closer in stats. RJ Harvey's definitely going to get usage too, but I think it's going to be a big run game from that team in general today. I think they both can be successful in this offense today.
Yeah. Guys, let's I think we have got Keith here. We've got our DFS guru. So I want to talk a little bit about some of our betting props today, some dart throws, try to make us a little bit of money this week in week 5. Keith, you want to kick us off? Who's a hot risky play for you today?
Mason Taylor for the Jets. He's under 3K. There's 2 tight ends this week under 3K that I think you can feel pretty safe playing. Tommy Tremble being the other one. We saw what he did last week. Again, Panthers are a mess, but Taylor particularly because we saw him get 6 targets with Tyrod Taylor week 3. Aaron Glenn then came out and said, we have to continue to get this guy the ball. And even with Justin Fields starting, he saw again 6+ targets. The big thing, though, the Cowboys this season run zone more than any team in the NFL, almost 78% of the time. Mason Taylor versus man this season, 0 receptions. Mason Taylor versus zone this season, 12 receptions. And again, this is a game I expect the Cowboys to score points. I mean, the Jets will probably be down and throwing. That's good for Taylor. At 900, you're pretty much guaranteed 6 targets against the zone defense, which that's where he catches all of his passes against. Coaches said we got to get him involved. And really, outside of Garrett Wilson, there's not a guy in that hierarchy for targets. So I think Taylor has a chance to have a big game. This is also a Cowboys team that's given up at least 4 receptions to tight ends in 3 or 4 games.
Brittany definitely wants some help today because she's saving up for that Darren Waller jersey. What would it be? Would it be a Miami jersey, Brittany? Is that you'd get a Dolphins one or one of his other teams?
Man, you got to go Raiders with Waller.
You
got
do. I
to
think
go
you
like
have to.
OG Raiders. He's still the Oakland guy to me as far as
nicer too. I think.
Man, I love he's Jawan Johnson, the late breakout tight end, like the breakout at 28 years old, like coming out of nowhere. I remember when Waller came out, I was like, dude, no way is this real. You know what I mean? Like, what is he, 27 and a rookie? He was like a rookie, 25, 26-year-old. So yeah, that was great.
Brittany, shout out to Brittany because Brittany has been on Darren Waller all year. I've been in drafts with her all through since back in like March, and I know that she has been taking him with like her last picks everywhere.
Me too, Brittany. Me too.
So, yeah, you guys.
I've got a good share of Darren Waller.
Yes. Speaking of Waller, he makes your DFS picks, right, Mike?
I don't even know who put that in. I didn't even put that in, but yeah, let's ride.
That was actually me. That's my bad. That was
somebody.
Me. Oh wow! Waller.
I love that was in there.
When I put that in, it was 6:30 in the morning, pre-coffee.
Sharlene, what do you think? Yeah.
So I think Tua's gonna have to throw the ball to somebody. I know that pass defense is actually pretty stout. But Waller, I think Waller's going to get it done. He's got to throw to somebody beside. He's got Waddle, and then so I totally see this being a Waller game.
I love it. I think that's a good one there. Mike, do you have any fun DFS picks for us today? Mine are usually just five space.
I'm not dropping any DFS because I steer everyone the wrong way. I lose your money. I'll stick to the fantasy takes, so you guys can definitely go off the DFS. Keith is clairvoyant, I guess. He was actually telling us backstage that he could see everything. He called it. He said, "I know." He was at home the other night and said, "I know Mark Sanchez is getting stabbed tonight. I just feel it. I feel it in my bones. Maybe I felt it in my bones.
I don't know when and I don't know where, but it's gonna happen." So
yeah.
Oh man, guys! Before we go, real quick, we got to do Maddox's Monday Night Football picks. My poor little guy is 0-6.
But that's what you want. Like, even though he's 0-6, that means just fade it. That's as good as giving a winner.
Go the opposite way. Yeah, although I think he might get a win this week. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it, but I don't want to spoil anything. So here we go.
Says otherwise.
And I again uploaded the one without music, so that's a bummer. He took, so it's whatever the helmet that he runs off with. So he took the Kansas City Chiefs today. So he may get that first win for his Monday night picks. Guys, this has been so great. Thank you to everybody who's hanging out in the chat. Mike, Sharlene, Keith, you guys were the best. Thank you guys for hanging out. Keith, tell everybody where they can find you and all of your content.
The easiest place is Twitter/X at Keith Flemming, KeithFlemming. I'm actually right now going to Fantasy Six Pack's YouTube channel to do my official cash game plays. I go through the entire slate. It's like 10-15 minutes. And then each week I do a main slate preview as well as stats you need to know on Tuesday night with Casey Kasem, who is just the best. So, but Stacy, I absolutely adore you. You're one of my favorite people in the space. Sharlene, same to you. It was so good to meet you.
Yes,
I am, like, again, big fan of the show and what you guys do. Y'all are the best.
Thank you, Keith. Sharlene, tell everybody where they can find you and how they can follow you online.
You can find me on Twitter at ChowBella1981 and Sweating Glitter 24/7, pretty much everywhere else.
Yes. Mike, what do you got going on this week?
Oh, man. Oh, here we're back to this right now.
That's a great way to end it. Just bam.
I mean, you guys know where to find me. We have the Devi show tomorrow. We have the Fantasy Whiplash Tuesday, the IDP show Wednesday. We have the Dynasty show Thursday, and we just start the cycle all over again. But it was a great show. Stacy, you killed it. Sharlene, great to meet you. I appreciate you jumping on. I think you guys all killed it today. And I appreciate everybody joining us. It was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to everybody who's hanging out in the chat. Next week, we got Louis G from Analytics Are for the Nerds coming back to hang out with us.
He's back.
Louis G is
Oh,
back.
man.
We're going to have a good time, guys. Go make those last-minute roster changes. Go put those DFS picks in. Make a little money this week. We'll be back next week. See you then, guys.